First, NATO surrounded Russia with missile systems, and then dangerous biolabs. Now they are supplying depleted uranium munitions to Ukraine. The cost to properly manage and dispose of depleted uranium generated by just one enrichment plant is in the billions. And so NATO began dispersing this radioactive poison throughout the world in the form of weights, armor, and munitions. Its ability to explode on impact made it effective in piercing through armor. But upon impact, the uranium gets turned into fine dust. This fine dust lasts for lifetimes, getting more deadly over time. And so the dust that gets into the ground and into the water supply can poison all living things for decades to come. During the Gulf War, over 1 million shells of depleted uranium were fired. Hundreds of tons of fine dust uranium was dispersed throughout civilian areas in most of Iraq. As a result, Iraq is now suffering a massive sudden increase in birth defects and cancer.
We are seeing an absolute crisis of congenital malformations of newborn. There is one doctor, a pediatrician named Dr. Samira Alani, working on this crisis in the city. She's the only person there registering cases, and she's seeing horrific birth defects. I mean, these are extremely hard to look at. They're extremely hard to bear witness to, but it's something that we all need to pay attention to because of the amount of depleted uranium used by the U.S. military during both of their brutal attacks on the city of 2004, as well as other toxic munitions like white phosphorus, among other things.
Thousands of U.S. war veterans have breathed in this uranium dust, and thousands have suffered without help from the government. NATO has been dispersing this deadly poison via wars in the Middle East and in the Balkans, and dispersing it via military training at bases around the world, in Okinawa, Japan, Sardinia, Italy, Galloway, Scotland, and in Oahu and the Big Island of Hawaii. And everywhere that depleted uranium is planted, cancer and birth defects arise. Behaving like the biggest satanic death cult on Earth, NATO has poisoned the world with depleted uranium, and it's currently instigating a nuclear war with Russia. The U.S. government shows nothing but contempt for the American people, and as the fear of nuclear war rises, the U.S. government declassifies a 1960 U.S. Air Force training film on the deadly effects of a nuclear weapons attack, stoking the fear in America every way they can. NATO is now supplying Ukraine with depleted uranium munitions to fight the Russians. And last Saturday, in response, President Putin has announced that Russia will deploy tactical nuclear weapons in Belarus.